Hello, everybody. I'm Hannah. Thank you for being here this morning. And Amy totally got me in the vibe to continue this on. So we're kind of just gonna continue on from what Amy's amazing work and the vibes and the space she created, and Yawa amazing. So thank you. So I'm a local artist and I create illustrations and installations that that celebrate feelings and emotions. Um, I started to do this because I tried to be like that calm, cool, collective girl for way too long, and that wasn't me. And it ended up being really tiring to always act like this calm, cool, collected person. So when I was younger, I started to get migraines. And since I've gone older, they've turned into chronic migraines. So I do experience a lot of pain a lot of the time. And people with chronic pain are more susceptible to these big emotional changes. And like I said before, I was really self-conscious in the past about these big shifts in mood and how I would interact with people. And not always what they see is what we're feeling on the inside. So I always felt like I was on this roller coaster. And like I said before, it just was extremely tiring. But I read this study that in 2014, this group of scientists found that it's actually our ability to experience a diverse range of emotion in fairly equal measures that is best for our well-being. So I realized these shifts in mood are okay, and what they termed emo diversity is good, and it's proven that it helps our well-being. So it's okay to experience this roller coaster, and they're still doing more research on it. So it's a really interesting topic. So this study made me want to start my journey to embrace these emotions. And this year, like for everybody, has been exceptionally tough. And one thing that people with chronic pain or migraines, what helps them is a routine. And when we all get out of that routine, it really messes up with our emotions and the way we're feeling physically and emotionally. So I sat down and thought, how can I make a new routine while I'm now working from home, not going out very often? Um, and I wanted to start the day and with checking in with myself and putting myself first, but not taking up so much time to make it a big project, just a short check-in. So I wanted my check-in to accomplish 3 goals. I wanted to feel more grounded going into my day. I wanted to work on trying to separate, since everything was happening at home now, separate these personal emotions I was feeling with the work emotions. Because what was happening, I think, for a lot of people is they were getting all pushed together, and it was hard to sort out. So if I could separate these, I think it would help me with my personal relationships and feelings, and then how I go into the workday. And then I also wanted it to help me kind of navigate the day of okay, if I'm feeling a certain way, what can I schedule throughout my day to make sure I check in with myself and maybe provide, say, okay, today I'm going to talk to my boss or supervisor or husband and say, hey, I need 5 minutes today. This morning, this is what I'm feeling. And it's just a few minutes out of my day that I switch things around because of this check-in. So the check-in I do is artistic in a way, but I wanted to make it very simple for me. So this is kind of what I've been doing so far. And so I try to just use scrap paper, and I'll show you kind of the tools I use. But so it's all focused on emotions, and I just draw circles every day. And then I'm going to talk about the different emotions. This one's just with colored pencil. This was worrying 7 different ways. That was a rough morning. And then this one's I just had circular stickers that I used here. And then this is a big one that I worked on a few days. That's just fun watercolor, all different friends. And so the supplies I use to make these are usually the watercolor that I just got at Blick. and nothing too expensive. This was just like on an end cap. And then this is my favorite, coolest thing. You load the water in here, and then you just squeeze in, the water comes out on your watercolor. Instead of having like a cup of water that I constantly would knock over and cause me frustration. And so this is like super cool. And then because I was just trying new things, I got the ink and this tool. But you can really use anything. Sometimes I just use broken crayons, markers, anything. So this morning, I'm going to walk you through the exercise so we can all do it together and kind of check in with ourselves. So if you don't already have supplies from earlier, you can grab something, anything to draw with. If you just have a marker or something, that's fine. And maybe a paper that's a little bigger than 5 by 7, just so the faces don't get too small. So I'm going to switch my camera, and so you guys can see what I'm doing, and then we'll get started. Cool. Okay. So I'll give you a few seconds to grab the stuff. Kind of crooked, but it's 2020, so I don't look for perfection. Okay, can you still hear me? Caitlin, yeah, everybody?
Yes, we can hear you, Hannah.
Okay. Just making sure. Cool. Okay, so the first thing I do is I use this wheel of emotions as my tool. I think we're going to drop a link in the chat as well, because it might be hard for some people to see all of the text on here. So there's a lot of different ways to use this wheel. And I just more use it as a word bank, because I don't want to get stuck in that like happy, sad, mad thing. So I think there's a lot of great words here. So let's take a little bit to look at this and pick 4 to 6 words that you're feeling this morning. You can memorize them, but I don't have a great memory, so I'm going to write mine down. And you can also feel free, as we're thinking and you're looking at the wheel, to write them down in the chat, some of the words that you're feeling this morning, and then we'll share them, and then we'll go on to the next step. And if you don't see the link in the, oh, there's the link. Yeah. So, and feel free to share it in chat. I'm going to start writing down my 4 to 6 words. It doesn't matter how many words you write. It's just the more faces you'll do. Shared mine in the chat, my words for today. Sleepy, overwhelmed, excited, unfocused, optimistic, hopeful, eager, tired, optimistic. I love that people are tired, but still awake enough that they're optimistic. That makes me really happy. Inspired, curious, thankful, numb, overwhelmed, thankful, hopeful, stressed, hopeful, eager, insecure, out of control. That's a good one. Playful. I saw that too today. It like popped out. I love that word. Okay, great. Okay, so thank you guys for sharing. So the next thing I do is start drawing the amount of circles I have for the words. So I have 5 words: vulnerable, brave, excited, tired, and shy. And so I'm going to just start drawing 5 circles. I usually make them about a little bigger than a quarter size, and any colors. Here's a little bigger than a quarter size. Any colors work. Today I think I'm going to do like greens, shades of green, but anything really works. So here we go. We're going to start making circles. Somebody wrote sleepy, sleepy, happy, happy. That's good. Curious is one of my favorite words too. I like using watercolors because you can play around with the shape over and over, and I think it's like therapeutic to do this motion. I never used watercolors before starting to do this. It's just fun with this pen. And I don't switch my pen for every color. I just wipe it off, and this pen works great. This brush thing. Yes, Blick has I get all my art supplies from Blick in Beaverton, and they allow curbside pickup where you can purchase it online and then they'll bring it out to your car so you don't have to go in. And that's nicer that way. There's different ones. I buy a lot of different supplies, but I don't get the most expensive things because a lot of times I'm just testing it out and it's just for fun. So they're my circles, and because watercolor doesn't dry as fast as I would like it to, here's one that's already dry. Okay, so now that I have the 5 circles, and I hope you guys have drawn some as well, I'm gonna go through my words what I usually do is go through my words one by one, and I take a few moments to think about why I chose that word. So some things I ask myself is, have I felt this way for a while? Is this a new feeling? What can I do to support this emotion today? And make any changes to my day I need. So this is when I use my super fun ink thing. This was also like a pack at Blick. It just comes off. Am I always using all these tools correctly? I don't know, but I'm using it in the way that just try whatever you want. And that is your way to do it. That's the right way if that's the way you want to use a tool. So the first one I have is vulnerable. So I would think I'm feeling vulnerable because I don't usually share my art process with people, and I'm doing that for one of the first times today. So thank you guys for all the comments and stuff. So I'm going to draw a face that I feel like characterizes vulnerability, and don't worry if the faces you make aren't the way that people characterize emotions usually. Everybody shows their emotions and feelings differently, so it's okay, whatever you feel like expresses in vulnerability or curiosity, that's awesome. So here's the little eye, the little nose. This is me being vulnerable. I'm also feeling brave because It's linked to vulnerability, I guess. Brave is like, I have the biggest awkward smile, like, yeah, that's right, I'm being brave, everybody. Telling myself, you're brave. Next one's excited. Like this morning I woke up really wide-eyed. I usually just the first go around as I'm going through the words, just do the eyes, nose, and mouth. And then if I'm feeling like I want to sit with it a little longer, or if I have a little time, that's when I add like the cute little hair or glasses, or little whatever I want that day. Oh, my favorite one, sleepy. I love these like closed eyes. They're my favorite to do. And then the last one is shy for me today. I'd usually take a little longer to go through each one. Sometimes I write notes on the piece of paper here, but because we don't have a huge amount of time. So then I think, okay, with the vulnerability, excited, shy, that's a lot, especially migraines. Some of my migraines are triggered by anxiety and stuff like that. So later today, I'm going to take time to rest. And I know that now, and I'll build that into my day. Something that I probably wouldn't have done before this. Oh, Jasmine, I'm sorry you suffer from them too. So these are my little friends today that help me feel grounded. And then I usually, at the bottom, I write the date, because what happens is that I keep them all in a folder and I'm able to look back, and if I have any notes here, and say, okay, this is how I was feeling this day. So it becomes a kind of journal because I don't do a huge amount of writing. But I'll know looking back like how I felt on certain days, like that day I was worrying so much. So now if you guys need a little time, that's totally fine. But if you want to, when you're done, hold up so I can see in gallery view too, like what you guys created. Oh, I love it, Hannah. I love the huge smile. I love it. The crazy hair. Wow, these are awesome. I love seeing them all. Here's my favorite hair to do. Just this little like awkward middle part situation.
All right, Hannah.
So yep, that's all.
I just want to keep doodling forever, but we have one more exciting session.
Yep, that's it. I know life can get crazy. So do I do this every day? Like that's impossible, but I do it as much as I can. So I hope this helped you guys feel a little better this morning, and I hope you have a good day.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.